Hey guys, today we're talking about a fragrance brand called BARRETT Fragrances. So if you're unfamiliar with the brand, they do fragrances on inspirations or clones of more high expensive niche and designer fragrances on the market. They actually bring back some vintage fragrances as well. So if you're OG and you want to smell like an older fragrance, they do have you covered in that category as well. They are affordable, so you're not going to break the bank. And I'll talk about the prices in this video. And the fragrance I'm going to review today, I'll give you my full in-depth review. It's from the house of BARRETT. This one here is called Mr. More. So this is the presentation of the box. Nice, simple, minimalistic box. It's black and gold. I like that. This is the bottle right here. Mr. More. Sorry about the light. It's beautiful. I like the cap up top. Snaps into place. Sprayers are awesome. Nice sprayer. Nice atomizer, you know, not the best in the game, but it does get the job done. The plaque that's here, a nice metal cap, which is nice. This retails for $44.99, and this is their inspiration, or this is their clone of a vintage YSL Nuit alum. Now in this video here, I'm going to tell you about how I feel about the fragrance, how it performs, if you should buy it or not. They do have a 10 ml travel atomizer, which is nice here. It's a presentation. I like it because it has BARRETT fragrances. You twist it and you just spray your fragrance, which is nice. And each one has a different name of the fragrance in it, and it shows you how much juice. And you can take this travel, which is nice. And this is going to run you about $12, which is not bad for a travel atomizer. You spray it and go. You can take it with you on holiday or travel, or take it to the office and refresh yourself throughout the day. If the fragrance, you know, doesn't have the performance that you want in the fragrance, you definitely can respray it at work or reapply it. You can smell fantastic at the end of the day. So let's talk about the note breakdown, right? So this is Nuit alum, a 2009 vintage version. I've never tried the original one. I know Jeremy Fragrance hyped it to death. I eventually got a bottle a couple years later. It's still a fantastic scent. Performance isn't the best. It has been, I guess, somewhat watered down. It doesn't have the longevity that I used to have, sadly, but I get about 5 or 6 hours with the original. We had no complaints. It still smells good. Kelly says it's a sexy smelling fragrance, so definitely with note of cardamom, it gets the job done, right? So here we go. I'm gonna spray this. Note breakdown, which I'm gonna talk about real quick. It's bergamot, lavender. We have cardamom, vetiver, vanilla, cedar. Sprayers are okay. All right. Now, this opens up, you're definitely getting a freshness in the fragrance. Coming from the bergamot, you're definitely getting that lavender touch in the fragrance. Now, you're getting a lot of freshness in this. You're definitely getting some spices. And you're definitely, the cardamom's coming more alive in the fragrance. And you're definitely getting that Nuit alum DNA, right? Whether you have a vintage version or the real version, right? You get it with this here. Now, is it going to smell 100%? No. From my testing, because I have the original Nuit alum, I don't have a 2009 batch. I think mine's like 2016, 2017 batch. And it's pretty close. I want to say it's about maybe 85% close to it. Really have no complaints. I feel like this one's a little bit more fresher. I feel like it's more bergamot citruses in the opening. You're definitely getting a lot more lavender in this fragrance. You're definitely getting spices from the cardamom as well. I feel like it has a little umph of more of a freshness to it. As in the Nuit alum was fresh with a little bit of sweetness with the cardamom and spices. It's still a good alternative if you want to smell like Nuit alum without breaking the bank, because that goes for I think about $100 online. So you're gonna save yourself maybe 60 something bucks, 55, 60 bucks if you buy this instead. And like I said, if you don't want to buy this big bottle here, you can always buy a travel atomizer for like $12, $13 online. And you're not going to break the bank. At the end of the day, these fragrances are people that want to smell like the real fragrance, but don't have that type of money to break the bank buying fragrances. And I understand that. I've never once judged a man or woman by buying a clone fragrance. If that's what you can afford, that's what you can afford. At the end of the day, you're going to smell great. That's all that matters, really. You know what I mean? It comes down to what you can afford, and you want to smell happy wearing a fragrance. At the end of the day, every man or woman should be able to buy a fragrance, cheap, clone, inspiration, real thing, whatever your budget is, and smell fantastic at the end of the day. Let's touch on the performance, right? Oh, it smells really good. And there's not too many inspiration fragrances that I really do like. This one here is fire, and I'll give you my rating towards the end. But projection-wise, I'm getting about 2 hours of very nice solid projection. This is one where you can smell it after the 2 hours. It does come closer and closer to skin, but the first 2 hours has nice projection. I catch wafts of it. I do about 6 sprays. So I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And it gets me through the day. I really have no complaints with the projection on this fragrance here. It radiates about half an arm's length, so people can catch wafts of it. I feel like some people can catch it beyond my arm's length because the people around me could smell I was wearing a fragrance too, which is a plus, but I felt like it was only about half an arm's length. But then again, when you're not wearing the fragrance, people can smell the fragrance off you more than what you can. Longevity. So for me personally, this fragrance here, I get about 7 to 8 hours on my skin. Some people get 9 or 10, which I've heard. I got about 7 or 8. It'll get you through a work day. Now, I could go nose blind to this fragrance where it could last 9 to 10 hours, but by that 8-hour mark, I'm kind of digging my nose and trying to smell it, but it's still there apparently. So I figure on the safe side, 7 to 8 hours, you might get more, you might get a little less. Season occasion for me personally, this one here, I would say it's more of a spring, fall, winter scent. I don't think I want to reach for this in the summer. I feel like I might want a more of a fresher fragrance, not with the spices and cardamom, but you can pull it off in the summer. I would go 1 to 2 sprays max, no more. I think that's just enough. I think anything more might be too obnoxious, might be too strong, might be overbearing or offensive to people around you. But by all means, try it on your skin and see how it works. Occasion for me personally, just really any time. Date night, casual, running errands, board meetings, basically a spray and go type of fragrance. You have no issues with a fragrance like this. It's going to perform and you're going to smell really good at the end of the day. Compliments. I didn't get any compliments wearing this fragrance here. Sometimes you, sometimes you don't. Kelly smelled it off me. She said I smell really nice. So that's always a plus. She didn't know it was a clone of it, but she said you really smell nice today when I got home from work. So it's always a plus when she can still smell the fragrance when I got home from work. Ratings and final thoughts. So for me personally, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. Okay, I'm not gonna give it a 10 because they're really copying a DNA that's been out for years now. 2009, this is supposed to be a vintage version of Nuit alum. It's not a unique fragrance. You smelled it before. There might be little tweaks to it where it's a little bit more fresher than the original one, but that's it. They're not reinventing the wheel here. It's nothing spectacularly new, but if you're new to fragrances, you will like something like this and you're gonna smell fantastic on a budget. And at the end of the day, the prices are pretty fair as well. Under 50 bucks for a 50 ml bottle, beautiful presentation, and I have no complaints with this here. I think anybody that wants to smell like Nuit alum and can't find a vintage version is gonna cost you probably up to $300 to $400. This here will quench your thirst. It's definitely very close to it. If you like Nuit alum DNA, you're gonna smell amazing, and people around you gonna like the way you smell. They don't care if it's the real thing or it's the clone. At the end of the day, as long as you smell fantastic or smell good and you take care of yourself, you're gonna feel good and you're gonna smell great. That's all that matters. If you tried any fragrance from the house of BARRETT Fragrances, what are your favorite? Drop your list down below. Thank you, BARRETT Fragrances, for letting me pick out these fragrances to review. If you guys want me to review any other more from the brand, please leave your list down below. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this type of content, please show your support. It's absolutely free by clicking that red subscribe button down below. Be safe, everyone, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.